If you give advice, charge a price is more of a mindset than it is a call to action. It's a belief in yourself as opposed to a selfish act. It's about urgency, not dollars and cents. In today's video, we're gonna go over the real meaning of if you give advice, charge a price, and how it's going to be fundamental in any business you're involved in today and in the future. So if you're interested in learning more, let's get to work. One of the questions I get asked every single day is, Junior, what do you mean by if you give advice, charge a price? Well, put simply, it's a way to get you new perspective on the value you bring to people every single day. We're all giving our friends, family members, colleagues advice on the regular, but when it comes to thinking of a topic or thinking of an area of expertise that we all master, it's hard for us to come up with it. So I wanted to come up with a clever way to get you and I both to internally look at ourselves and see what value do we bring. So by coming up with the phrase, if you give advice, charge a price, it forces you to look at all the advice you give your friends, family members, and colleagues on a daily basis, and maybe there's value there. So what you'll find after you ask yourself that over and over and over again is you're gonna find yourself thinking about, what advice do I give my friends, or what advice do I give my family? Am I talking to them about relationships? Am I giving them advice of how to do things around the house? As you start thinking about that internally, maybe you'll find some areas of expertise that not only can expand your area of influence in your inner circle, but now maybe you can influence and help other people around the globe. You may be asking, what are some examples? Let's imagine you're a recent graduate and a straight A student. You spent your entire life listening to your parents and your teachers, studying all day and long, sacrificing to get those straight A's. You graduated from college assuming that you would land that beautiful, high-paying, successful job, but unfortunately, things didn't work out that way. What are the odds that there's someone else in that position around the globe that would love to learn not only what to do and not to do when it comes to school, if you had an opportunity to do it again, but creating a course or content for all those other straight A 4.0 GPA students out there that are trying to figure out a life that's completely different than they were promised 4 or 5 or even 8 years ago when they first started their career. A lot of people would find value in what you've done to overcome those challenges today, not somebody from 10 years ago, but right now. You'd be surprised. So let's imagine you were that student and you graduated, you found a way to become successful after life didn't go as planned, and you've been giving advice to your ex-classmates, maybe your neighbors, maybe your old high school friends. Imagine if you could take that same advice and instead of just giving it to the people you already know, imagine creating a course, putting it on a platform to not just help people in your town, but people around the community. That's what if you give advice, charge a price is about. Now you may be thinking, well, Junior, I'm still in the midst and I'm still trying to figure it out. I graduated a few years ago and I can relate to that story, that hypothetical story that you just talked about. But unfortunately, I don't think I have the answers. I'm gonna stop you there and tell you that it's not about having the answers, it's about being transparent in the journey. There's a lot of things you would do differently if you could go back in time. You need to create content that speaks to the old you, because there's thousands and thousands of old yous out there. Use your newness as a weapon. It's your greatest tool. So you may be asking yourself, why is this so important now? And I preach this concept all the time because I want to empower you to understand that this is how I believe education and entertainment are going to be consumed in the future. We finally have the software and the technology to allow people like you and me to produce high quality education and entertainment content that we can distribute around the globe without the approval of some big high-level producer, and it allows us an opportunity to provide for our family. If we do it on a consistent basis, if we provide the content and value that people want, not only are we helping other people, but we can feed our family, which I believe is important to you because I know it's important to me. Okay, so I've pumped you up enough into thinking, okay, I could do this. I could talk about this or I could talk about that. I think people would be interested in it. I'm ready to go. And then now you're looking around, you're doing some research and you're saying, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not a professional. I don't do this full time. I'm just passionate about it. My friends or family always ask me about this particular topic. Now, what you're experiencing is called imposter syndrome. And rest assured, you're not alone in having that feeling, but there's a few tips and tricks I'll share with you to help you get over it. Okay, so quick tip number 1 on how to get over the famous imposter syndrome is to talk about things you've done, not things you've just learned. Too many times people think people only want to hear about the wins as opposed to their losses, when I would absolutely disagree. Content creators are notorious for putting out content that shows not only their wins, but also their losses. Just like you and me, we learn so much more from our losses than we do our wins. Getting over this perfect mindset and mentality is the first step in getting over imposter syndrome. Being transparent with your audience about your journey, about some of your L's, is a great way not only to connect, but to show authenticity with your new clients. Quick tip number 2 is simply putting your content out there. The more content you put out there, naturally it builds your confidence. And confidence is the absolute antidote to imposter syndrome. So I know you're sitting on the sidelines concerned about, are people gonna take you seriously? You're not a professional, you don't do this every single day, but you're passionate about it and you wanna talk about it. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you. Put your content out there, you'll get confident as you go, and then your viewers will appreciate you for that journey and ride along the way. And that leads me to my next point, which is people want to hear your unique voice. Now that you're doing all this research, trying to find that motivation to create content around the thing that you're super passionate about, you may find other people that are talking about the same thing. But one thing I want you to keep in mind, especially if you're a believer in if you give advice, charge a price, is that people want to hear from you and your unique perspective. Two people can be talking about the same thing, but one person may connect with you more than the other person. Now that could be because they like the sound of your voice better, maybe they can relate to your setup a little bit more, or they can relate to your ethnicity, skin color, or religion. You need to find a niche. You don't need to get discouraged on somebody else doing the same topic, because the only thing the internet is missing is content from you, because that's something that nobody else can replicate and nobody else can duplicate. Keep that in mind. Let's take makeup as an example. Now, some of you may know makeup is by far one of the most popular topics when searching YouTube or the internet. But the reason it gains popularity every year is because content creators are starting to understand that just because somebody else makes a video about makeup doesn't mean you making a video about makeup isn't going to connect with somebody else. For example, let's say you make videos about makeup for people with fair skin. There's another channel for people that want to do makeup that have skin conditions, or somebody that has freckles. If you have dark complexion, or maybe you focus on doing makeup for the beach versus makeup for going out at night. All those are different topics, different niches that you could focus your content on. Now, makeup is one small sliver of content to create, but you could take the same concept and go in any industry, up or down. Last key to keep in mind here is that you have to be yourself and you have to be unique. Understand, copying somebody else, exactly what they say, or exactly what they wear, exactly what they do, that's putting you at a disadvantage. The only thing the internet needs is you being yourself, because there's nobody else that could do it. If you stay true to that, I guarantee you'll be successful. Okay, so you're motivated, you're pumped up, you're ready to start creating your content, but what do you do now? Luckily for you, I've been in the same boat. I know when I wanted to start my journey, I couldn't find anything online that helped me create a real process of how to turn myself into a real functioning business. I saw a ton of videos, tips, tricks, and hacks, but nothing with real documents that gave me a real process and protocol that I could put in place. So I decided to create a set of forms and templates that really helped me on my journey, and I want to share those forms with you. Some of these digital forms will help you organize your ideas and force you to critically think about how to create your content and put it in a way that can not only grow, scale, and maintain a real functioning business. Now, what you'll find is you'll find checklists. You'll find lead-in questions that help you come up with new content or video ideas. You'll find scripts. You'll find business plans. You'll find all the things you need to get off on the right track and start creating content successfully without wasting any time or making any major mistakes. All these can be found at juniordesinor.com. I assure you, you'll find extreme value by these set of documents and forms. It's going to put you on the fast track to creating great content and success. Now, whether it's my web forms or it's from another video or from another content creator, please learn from other people's successes and failures. It's going to save you time and energy is extremely, extremely important in this arena, because you're going to need it to get consistent and power through the ups and downs of creating content, creating sources and value for your viewers on a regular basis. With all that said, guys, just to recap, if you give advice, charge a price is a mindset. It's there to help you think of your value a little bit differently. Don't forget the example about our straight A student. Understand that the time is now. There's no better time and place than for us, creators like you and I, to start taking advantage of the power of the internet and content to create new lives for ourselves. Understand that your voice is super unique. Nobody can copy it, nobody can duplicate it. Use your voice to your advantage. And lastly, save time and precious resources by using tools, my templates, other creators' videos, tools, and templates to help you save time and energy along the way. I hope you guys learned something new and maybe found some value in this video. And if you did, please go ahead and give the video a like. I would appreciate it. And if you did or didn't, leave a comment below. Tell me about your new experience and let me know if there's anything I discussed today that you want to go into greater detail on. Don't forget, guys, I post to this channel every single week, so don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. More importantly, guys, as always, in this video, more so than ever, if you give advice, charge a price, and until next time, guys, peace.